Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Secret Files Tunguska with me, Classic Gamer, and now we're on the train. We're well on our way to the next part of this game, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually really getting into this. It's actually a very intriguing adventure game, even though I am following a guide and it's not really blind, but to be honest, I think this game would probably frustrate the shit out of me if I ever did it without some kind of help. I'm going to try and do this bit as best I can without, you know, following. But I probably will look, because there's a few sort of, a lot of this I don't think you really even know how to do.
They are secured with snap locks. It wouldn't be a good idea for me to start anything with a whole army. I'd better not wake him. He told me he sat in prison for 15 years for manslaughter because some idiot woke him for something quite trivial. I don't know if it's true, but I am not going to test it. Only 25 watts. You're not very bright, are you? I can't reach it without waking the guy. That soldier's bag of medication. If I think about his description of the effects of castor oil, it makes me feel a little more than just queasy. It's big and I don't need it, so I'll leave it here. I always thought you couldn't tell if an egg was fresh or not just by looking at it. I have just changed my mind. I don't want to wash my hands at the moment. Oh, there are the first scientists already. Maybe I can get some information here. However, I should not ask too directly about my father, so that no one becomes suspicious. Surely I can take one slice. Well, I'm sure that owner will be able to spare it. Big-time white bread robbery. I can see the headlines now. No, I don't know any fence who will take it off me, and apart from that, the black market prices are at rock bottom. Hello. May I interrupt for a moment?
Psst. Not so loud. Dr. Lesniak is working and is really concentrating. We really shouldn't disturb him. Plus, he's in a pretty bad mood.
What happened? Why is the doctor in such a bad mood?
He's under a lot of stress. We are working on a test series, and Professor Sidorkin wants results as quickly as possible.
I understand. And this Professor Sidorkin gets very angry if he doesn't get results quick enough?
Well, he's okay. But Dr. Lesniak is unbelievably ambitious and naturally tries to finish as soon as possible. And when the doctor is stressed out and doesn't have bread and jam, he can become quite unpleasant.
Bread and jam?
Yes, it sounds strange, I know. But he apparently needs it to reduce his stress. Other people beat the heck out of a sandbag. He eats bread and jam.
Well, we all have our own ways and means to deal with difficult situations. And if he gets bread and jam, he gets a bit more sociable?
Yes, it helps. Unfortunately, he accidentally dropped his glass jar on the train platform. And there's no jam here on the train. I've looked everywhere.
I'll be on my way then. If I find any jam, I'll let you know.
That would be great. Working with him when he is in such a bad mood is really not a pleasure.
Fresh honey. Sweet and with a mild aroma. I should know. I was a honeybee in my previous life. Locked.
Yeah?
Excuse the interruption. Can I speak to you for a moment?
As long as Dr. Lesniak doesn't have a successful breakthrough in his experiments, no.
But
The train can blow up for all I care. I don't want to be disturbed.
it's really...
No! Yeah?
Excuse the interruption.
As long as Dr.
But
The train can...
it's really...
No!
The door is secured with a huge padlock. A 100-watt bulb. That's a bit of healthy competition for the sun. Hello. I just wanted to see if everything is all right.
What? Oh, yes, everything's okay. Now, let me work in peace.
Yes, whatever you say.
Okay. Huh.
If I switch on the light, the nice gentleman there may wake up. I'd better be very careful of him.
Which dumbass turned the light on? If I find out, I'll probably get another 15 years in the slammer.
Oh well, he'll definitely calm down soon. At least, I hope he will. In you go. I'm sure that will be delicious. Or not delicious. Doesn't matter what else I throw in, it's not going to get any better. If I see properly, today's stodgy could prove to have a certain similarity with jam.
Okay.
Well, what do you know? I should really take part in a cooking competition. As long as I don't know what I'm going to do with a further slice of bread and jam, I'm not walking around here with that sticky stuff. That soldier's bag of medication. If I think about his description of the effects of castor oil, it makes me feel a little more than just queasy. I had better not wake that guy again, otherwise he'll get really mad. I've got something here for you. Perhaps it will help improve your mood.
This is for me?
Yes, you do like bread and jam, don't you? I made it myself, just for you.
Thank you very, very much. Very interesting. You said you made it yourself. Yes, very interesting and very delicious. Thank you. I really needed it. I'm feeling much better already.
I'm very happy that you enjoyed it. Has it helped your mood a little?
Yes. I owe you one. If I can ever return the favor.
Then I'll get back to you. Maybe sooner than you think.
Anytime.
Hello. Are the good mood and the ability to concentrate back in gear?
Yep. I'm doing much better. I know that this obsession with bread and jam doesn't exactly speak well for a reputable scientist. It's just one of my quirks. I simply need it now and then.
Yeah, it's okay. We all have our weaknesses. Also, when some have a huge screw loose. What exactly do you do here?
We are studying the regenerative capabilities of certain plants.
Sounds very interesting. How does that work?
The study?
Yes.
We'll both be old and gray by the time I've explained it. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't think you are stupid. But you can't explain it in 5 minutes.
No, that's fine. You're probably right. Would it disturb you very much if I watched you working? I find all of that absolutely fascinating. I also promise not to ask too many stupid questions and not to interrupt.
All right, but don't touch anything. And if you have any questions, I'm sure Alexei will be happy to explain it to you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
Are you the only scientists on board this train?
No, not as far as I know. Apparently there are a few on board, but the compartments are separated from one another, and the doors are being guarded by soldiers. That's too bad. It would have been interesting to discuss research results among yourselves. Well, hopefully we'll have enough time for that later.
You have no idea which of your other colleagues are on the train?
No. The only person who has a complete list of the scientists and scientific researchers is Professor Sidorkin.
I'll have to get my hands on this list. Then I'll know for sure if Dad is on the train or not, and exactly where I can find him.
Sorry guys, just eating a chew. Ignore that in the background.
Who is this Sidorkin?
Professor Sidorkin? He is my direct superior and the scientific director of the biologists. You don't know him? He's an absolute genius in his field. There's hardly anyone who knows more than he does in the field of molecular biology.
Oh, that must have passed me by. Do you think I could talk with him for a moment?
He's right next door. But if I were you, I wouldn't bother him right now. He's under a lot of stress and is extremely irritable. And when I say extremely irritable, I mean even more irritable than me when I have to go 2 weeks without bread and jam.
Wow, that bad. Then I'll be careful. Why is he so irritable?
There are a few problems, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. I have to go back to work now. You'll excuse me.
If I promise not to stand in the way and not to ask too many stupid questions, can I have a look around?
Sure, but don't touch anything.
Phew, that was close. I have only just saved humanity from the terrible Dr. Jekyll.
Oh, thank you very much. Working with them is now so much more relaxed. I owe you one. So if you have any questions, I unfortunately can't tell you everything. I hope you understand that.
Of course. I'm happy that I can see her work at all. A soldier who interests herself for science, that's not a daily occurrence, is it?
No, and certainly not someone as pretty as you.
Oh, thank you. What you're doing here looks incredibly complicated.
Really? It's actually quite simple. These plant samples were exposed to radiation that is very similar to the radiation in the Tunguska region. At first the doses were kept rather low, and were...
You burn plants?
Yes, you could say that. We are trying to determine which dosage of radiation no longer leads to the complete deterioration of the cell structure.
Wow, I even understood that.
Well, I deliberately left out 2/3 of the explanations.
Wonderful. Once in my life, I'm proud of my scientific abilities, and you blow the whole illusion apart.
I'm sorry.
What exactly will you be doing at our destination?
You mean in the research station?
Yes, exactly. There. Scientific assistants also seem to be easy to question on an international level. So, it has to do with the research station. Maybe I can squeeze an odd secret or two out of him. What exactly is your task at the station?
Unfortunately, I can't tell you that. Otherwise, the station wouldn't be a secret.
So, it's secret, is it? Very good. Come on, boy, tell me more. Yes, I understand. But perhaps you can tell me something which isn't quite so secret. I have unfortunately little idea about biology and chemistry, but it certainly is fascinating, isn't it?
I can only talk about what Dr. Lesniak and I are supposed to be doing there.
Sure.
A long time ago, they discovered that the plants in the region exhibit abnormal plant growth. It isn't a secret. It was all over the newspapers.
Yes, of course.
And now we are trying to influence this growth in a controlled manner.
Fascinating. And what is the goal?
Unfortunately, I can't say. But imagine if we could arbitrarily manipulate the growth of plants. That would solve the problem of world hunger in one fell swoop.
Wow, that really does sound like a huge goal.
Indeed.
What I wanted to ask you was...
Just a minute. If you can pester me with questions, then I can too.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's nothing personal. So, why have so many soldiers been brought into a prohibited zone?
Prohibited zone?
Yes, in the research station and everything. I mean, with the materials and all the people here, you could wage a small war.
Yes, well, I'm not allowed to talk about that. You scientists have your instructions, and unfortunately, we have ours.
Ah, I understand. I willingly tell you everything about our experiments, and I have one little question and get an answer like that.
I'm sorry. I would love to tell you everything I know, but that is very little anyway. It's nothing personal, but what I do know is top secret.
Yeah, it's okay.
I'll be off then.
Okay.
Okay guys, well that's another video done, so as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, drop me a like and leave me a comment. I'll see you next time. Ta-ta for now.